Like I've said before, I really like browsing the Lost Media Wiki forums to come across new topics, and this was one I came across back when it was first posted, but I never clicked on it because the title seemed weird to me. But after the thread gained 5 pages of discussion, I had to see what exactly this was, or why the search was gaining so much attention, and it's actually a fascinating mystery. The title of this thread is called Hospital Cartoon My Dad Pirated When I Was Young, posted in March 2025 by user Butler. Now, when I first came across this thread, I completely misunderstood the title. At first I thought it meant there was a cartoon this user saw at the hospital, and that their dad somehow managed to get the episodes of it, and that didn't really pique my interest, so I overlooked it, until I realized that's not the mystery at all. The thread goes on to explain the story of the cartoon, as well as where the pirating part comes in. Butler says that sometime in the early 2010s, their family grew up poor and couldn't afford cable or streaming services. So their dad would pirate cartoons from the internet so they had something to watch. And because of this, they ended up with a lot of content both from the well-known areas of animation as well as random and assorted content. Well, one of these random and assorted shows came back into Butler's head, but after a series of hard drive failures, they no longer have the episodes they're remembering, and cannot even find what show this was online, which is where the mystery begins. The post goes on to describe the cartoon and gives us our first details about it. The cartoon was about a pink anthro cat with Animal Crossing-esque proportions, and was primarily seen in a hospital gown. There were other patients other than her, like a purple dog who was her friend, but the pink cat was the main character. Her right eye was droopy, and I'm 90% sure it was revealed in an episode that it was just a googly eye to replace her missing one. There were some other characters mentioned too, like a fluffy blue cat doctor, 2 small lion assistants, and a bunny mascot of the hospital. The doctors all had angel wings, and it's believed the series was about teaching kids that the doctor is not scary, and that it's okay to have disabilities. The plot was vaguely described as the cat character getting hurt in some way and having to go to the hospital in every episode, but that's more or less all that is remembered. It's also pointed out that this show was 2D animated, and included in the post was a mock-up of what the characters look like, to give us an idea of what we're looking for visually. And as you could imagine, this led to a series of guesses about what it could be. There were a couple of quickly debunked ideas, like Doc McStuffins, or it possibly being a misremembering of a webcomic. And then a third potential lead that came in the form of a mascot suit that looked similar to the lions being described. While Butler even debunked this, it eventually led to the idea of the cartoon being Asian in origin. Nihao Kai Lan, Abadas, and Ethelbert the Tiger were close comparisons to its art style, while the visual style was said to be that of the original Pokemon anime. And unfortunately there's no way to go back to the websites these episodes came from, because it would have been too long ago, and Butler doesn't even know what websites they came from in the first place. But under the assumption that this was an international show, possibly of Asian origin, there is also a theory in the thread that mentions dubs, and the fact that if it's an English dub, that itself might be lost, but episodes of the show in its original language might still be online. But like I said before, we don't know what to search to even get those to show up. Because besides the descriptions of the show itself, we don't know for sure if it was actually made for a hospital, was part of a bigger series, or was even aired on TV at all. But as far as Butler knew, the show did never air on TV, so it definitely could have been a local production too. Unfortunately, there are too many unknown variables currently that give us any indication of what this is. But perhaps the detailed character descriptions are enough to ring a bell for those who might have come across this before.